Hello, hello, hello. Y'all all right? What's going on? My elbows are not ashy, and I'm wearing an apron, so you cannot tell whether or not my pants are unbuttoned. So for those of you that follow me on my personal page, I've learned my lesson. Y'all doing good? Hello, hello, hello. Hey guys. We're going to raid the refrigerator and make some pasta. A real quick pasta. Hey, hey, hey guys. I think I am live on Facebook and Instagram at the same time. We're trying this business suite. So Facebook has a new app that integrates Instagram and Facebook together. So let's hope it works. Y'all doing all right? Hey, Miss Sandy. We're making some pasta. Cleaning out my refrigerator before I go grocery shopping. Did Miss Emily have a good day? So, guys, I'm cooking for two, not the army that I usually cook for. So, for two people, it's probably about a third of one of these boxes of pasta, but I'm just using the organic linguine. This is the Aldi brand. So, no special pasta. Already boiling the water. And I get to have pasta today because I, in addition to walking 10 miles on Saturday, my husband and I invested in an exercise bike. Hey, Charis, how are you, girl? You doing all right? So I have been riding my bike. So I'm doing about 8 miles. Today the goal will be to do 10 today, 10 tomorrow. Hello, Mother. I'm making pasta tonight. So in my fridge, I had some mushrooms. I had onions. Mom, I'm cooking spinach. Can you believe this? So if you guys are on the Hopewell Lose to Win challenge, why don't you come over and say hello? You guys know who this is?
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Make Some Time. I am so grateful for her making some time for me and for you all making some time to support her.
You're so sweet.
Keep doing it.
You're so sweet. I'm going to get like 1,000 likes on this video.
Buy the merchandise too.
So for the person who does not do social media at all, the fact that he even came into the video, that means that this is going to be the best thing I've ever cooked. So I already boiled the water, and we're going to do linguine. If you guys saw the clam video that I did earlier in the week, I think it may have posted yesterday or day before yesterday, but I did that video, and the meal was so good, and I didn't cook the way that I normally cook, which is in my apron. Just had on a t-shirt and shorts, and my top button was unbuttoned the whole video, and I thought it was the worst thing that could happen. So I'm going to make another pasta dish real quick. Going to use kind of like the similar sauce, but I had some leftover ground Italian sausage, so we're going to do that, and we're going to do some mushrooms, and we're going to make a real quick Alfredo sauce. So you guys been doing okay? Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope all is well where you are, that you have, if you have not already voted, if you have the opportunity to vote early, that you've already done so, that you have a plan to vote. I work for an organization that actually allowed us to use time and didn't charge us. So we get scheduled time to go and vote, because for those people that are voting in very densely populated areas, the lines are pretty long. And my organization wanted to make sure that everybody had the right to vote, had the time to vote. It wasn't causing any issues. For all of my parents that are homeschooling, my friend Sandy is on here. Her little one, Emily, she's a Girl Scout. They're doing a fundraiser, and she sent me a nice little thank you video. So for all of my parents, Cheris, I know you have your boys. I hope you and Probe are doing well. So in this, what we're doing tonight is just going to do some pasta. And what I'm trying to do is get rid of everything that's in my refrigerator before I go and buy something. So you guys know that I always talk about right unders, making sure that we use everything that we have before we go and buy something else. So I always, as I'm shopping now, especially now that it's just Maurice and I at home, making sure that when I'm purchasing our groceries, that I'm purchasing enough just for us. Hey, Sister Trimble. Hello, my brother is here too. The co-owner of Busy Bee Candles. Make sure you guys check them out. Hey, Jaren, make sure you tag Busy Bee in the comments so everybody can check out you and Garlene with your candles. So we're just I have some Italian sausage. We're gonna do some mushrooms. We're gonna do, I have some half a bag of spinach still left. And we're just going to do a real quick Alfredo sauce. So, who else do we have here? So, one of the things I like about, I'm calling this the Refrigerade. A couple of weeks ago, maybe about a month or so ago, Victoria, my daughter, came over and basically cleaned out my refrigerator, cleaned out my pantry, got rid of all of that excess stuff, just stuff that we're not using, and it has just made first of all, being in business much easier, because now I have a clear-cut plan of what it is that I'm going to cook each week and what I'm going to share with you guys. But it also just makes it easier from a diet perspective, that you don't have all of that excess stuff just hanging around. So my friend Jeannie, she's a psychiatrist, and she talked about how psychologically, how food impacts us. Hey, John Michael, my small group facilitator from my church. So how food impacts us, how when we see it, we want to eat it. So one of the things that I have tried to do is, if I'm not supposed to have it, I don't bring it in the house. When we did the refrigerator cleanup, the pantry cleanup, all of those things that were no longer going to benefit my diet, I got rid of them. I blessed them one. John Michael, the neck bones are gone. They were really good though. The recipe is on Make Some Time, and I bought everything from that recipe from the store that your wife works at. So you have no excuse. You can make it yourself. I'll loan you my Instapot. So right now I'm just browning the sausage, and I also have the pasta boiler, and this shouldn't take more than 20 minutes. This is all just leftover stuff, kind of, maybe it's like a scrap meal, I don't know. But the recipe will be on Make Some Time. If you guys have not already checked out the store, the aprons are now live, the hats, shirts, we got the cutting board. I'm not using my small cutting board right now because I have limited space. So, we're just going to brown this sausage. And these were sausage links. I just took them out of the casing and just broke them up into small pieces. And that recipe, there was a sheet pan recipe earlier this week. Hey, Coach Jackson, Coach Robin from Step 1, Life Coaching. My life coach is here. Thank you for joining in, Coach. So this is just some leftover sausage from that meal. Most of the recipes that I post on Make Some Time will serve 4, and the reason why, I usually cook enough for us to have dinner and then for us to have lunch on the next day. So, wanted to, and again, if you're not overcooking, you don't have to worry about all of that excess. And you should always get everything out out of the drawer that you're going to need while you're cooking before you start your live video. But hey, we family. So let's go ahead and we'll get the chopped onions. And I started that sausage with just a little bit of olive oil. It's going to make, the sausage is already going to render its own fat, so you don't need to add too much. We are going to add a little bit of butter because we're going to make our own Alfredo sauce. So you can smell it. Coach Robin, I want you taking notes. You're living the single dream. I want to see you cooking for yourself. So I'm with the onions, I'm going to do mushrooms. These were mushrooms from a dish earlier that I only needed half. So again, guys, when you are, especially when you're following the recipes on Make Some Time, just keep in mind that most of the recipes on there are about 4 portions. So if you are single, just cut the measurements in half. So we got our mushrooms going, and we're going to give the mushrooms a little bit of salt and pepper. And I like a lot of pepper. Salt is not one of those things that I'm going to be very heavy-handed on tonight because I'm using Parmesan cheese, and Parmesan cheese is very salty. So just going to give a few pinches of that. So what have you guys been up to? Has everyone voted? Everyone made a plan to vote? Make sure that you're reaching out to our senior citizens, your college age, your kids that are away at school, if they're doing a mail-in ballot. Make sure that they're following all of the protocols. We do not want any close calls. We want a decision to be made on election day. So whoever the president is going to be, we want to know it on that day so that we know what our plan will be for the next 4 years. So it is my prayer that wherever you are, that you have access to be able to vote. There are a number of resources where there's rideshare available. I don't like that. You have rideshare resources available, a number of things that can help you get to the polls as necessary. So make sure that you are doing your part to be involved in this election cycle. I bought a new tool and I don't like it. That was the only thing I got on Amazon Prime, and that little press thing did not impressed me. So and this is just 2 cloves of garlic. If you're not a fan of garlic, which is something that you can omit, but it definitely adds a lot of flavor. All right, just gonna let that come together. So now, Coach Robin, you definitely can smell it now. So it is good. I'm going to drain this pasta. So always save some of your pasta water when you're making a sauce, just to make sure that in case it gets too dry, you can loosen it up. So into the mushrooms, onions, and garlic, we're going to put the sausage back in. You guys see that? So again, this is just going to be enough for 2 I use about a third of the box of that linguine pasta. You can use any type of pasta that you prefer. And we're just going to go in. I'm using the fat-free half and half because this is what I had for a traditional Alfredo sauce. You would want to use heavy cream, but we're going to put some butter in here to make it pretend like it's heavy cream. And maybe about a half a cup of Parmesan, a little bit more. And we want to make sure that we can, that you have enough room to put the pasta in with it because you want it to soak up some of that sauce. So we'll do about 2 tablespoons of butter. I use salted butter. Unsalted butter, I just don't know why people do it. Just doesn't make. Miss Nelda, how are you? You guys are awesome. So my mom is on here. I'm going to share a story. If you guys watched the last Lose to Win fitness video, I did not like cooked spinach as a child. I hated it. Like literally, when I walked into, hey Rachel, when I walked into my house and if I smelled it cooking, I was in a bad mood. So my brother and I, and he actually divulged this information at my wedding, that anytime my mom cooked spinach for dinner, I made my brother eat it. That's what little brothers do. So I never ate cooked spinach. And it's just one of those things that right now, even as an adult, it has to be in very small quantities or hidden in something. It is not one of those things that I'm just going to eat flat out. It's not going to happen. So it usually has to be in something. Now, my children, on the other hand, they love it. They love it. So I'm going to put the lid on this and turn it down for just a minute and make sure our pasta. And guys, for you guys that just joined, you always want to cook pasta less. I know a lot of people, they kill pasta and it doesn't, the flavor you'll lose it. If it's too mushy. So you always want to cook it less, especially if you're going to add it to a sauce, because it's going to cook down a little bit more once you put it in there. And fresh parsley is one of those things that I've also started to pretty much incorporate in everything. One, because I'm growing it in my garden. And my neighbor, Pat, she also has a gardening page. And it's just filled with all kinds of nutrients and things that you can grow on your own. So why not take advantage of it? All right. So that is probably, where are we at? About 15 minutes, 20 minutes in total time to make a full meal. So, you guys see that? So if you are vegan or vegetarian, don't put the meat in. If you don't eat pork, use your turkey sausage, use your chicken sausage. Just use one that does not have the casing in it. I just want to keep stirring until pasta has soaked up all of the sauce. And again, this is the reason why you don't want the pasta to be mushy. You want to make sure that you have some life still left in it. And make sure, and especially if you're going to reheat it the next day, you definitely don't want to overcook your pasta. All right, guys. I'm going to put some parsley. A little more black pepper. No one was going to tell me that I didn't put the spinach in there. That's mental. But the spinach goes in last. And what I do is I just lay it on top. Spread it out, lay it on top. And then just fold it in. You don't want it to be cooked, because if it's cooked, I won't like it. So it's just going to be wilted. And you can take it off of the heat to do that. There we go. Now we have our spinach, mushroom, and sausage pasta. All right, guys. Make sure that you have a plan to vote. I think all of my friends and family, Rachel, you guys all have to vote by mail. There's no in-person voting in New Jersey. I don't know. Let me see. But make sure that you have your plan to vote. Make sure that your friends, that you are checking on them. Every time I come online to cook with you guys, that's going to be the question. Have you voted? Do you have your plan to vote? Have you communicated with your friends, with your children? Make sure that everyone you know. Okay, Rachel said we can vote in person. Awesome. Okay, good. So make sure that you know where your polling location is. Make sure you know what you need to take with you. Do not be caught off guard. Check to make sure that you are in fact registered. I believe you still have time to rectify any issues, but make sure that you do what you need to do in order to vote. So I love you guys. My elbows are not ashy. My pants are not unbuttoned because I'm cooking in my apron like I should have been the whole time. So I love you guys. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.